weird.
Good morning. Good morning. So sorry. We are
Good
here
morning.
once again, Tech Challenges. Welcome to Conversations to Raise Vibrations. I am your host, Lisa Kelly, and I'm joined by the beautiful, summery Elvira Hopper. Yes, we were both talking for summer colors. My goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, I am so glad to be here. So thankful we're here. Had tech challenges, whatever. We're moving on. This is where we will be from now on StreamYard. This is the platform we will be using. So welcome to everybody. So glad that you could join us. For those joining us live, I know there's a couple that can't, already messaged us. And if you're new to this Conversations to Raise Vibrations, we are so excited you're here. Hopefully you've given StreamYard permission to share your name. We do engage in the comments. We do love seeing comments. So please put yourself in the comments. I see already one Facebook user. Hi, just let us know who you are because that's how it comes up. Anyways, if you're watching later, again, please hit hashtag replay. And if not, please jump over to our YouTube channel and like, share, and subscribe. You never know who could use this content. So we are literally jumping in, being authentically ourselves as usual. I actually like this, to be honest. So, Elvira, we were just saying we're going to pull a card today. That's what we're going to do. And our
topic is based on this card.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. We didn't have a chance to talk about it in the studio. That's literally, so if you're new, this is what we do. We talk in the studio about, what's come up. We try to, engage in topics and conversations that have happened either to us or, through somebody else. And today we don't have a clue. So we're going to let spirit be our guide.
Yes, I love it.
It's funny because I did just come off that 5-day challenge with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, and it was so good. It was exactly what I needed in the moment.
Good.
And you know what? It's so funny because they do the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was listening to them and I was like, that's cool. They didn't have the teleprompter on for either one of them, and they showed it. Like they were literally just going from their heart. And it was kind of cool to see that, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think really all the best speakers, all the best, coaches, all the best, inspirational leaders just talk from their heart. And if they're talking from their head, I don't think it's going to land well, to be honest, Yes, I guess if you need information, you can go with someone that's really scripted and get everything down. But to really have transformation, you need to connect with someone's heart. And this is why transformation happens in community, and it happens very organically when people are ready. And it can't come from here, the ego. It has to come from soul. Yeah, heart and soul.
I really feel like that's going to be part of our topic.
Yeah. Yay. Oh my God. Let's see what the cards say. Okay, so Great Spirit, allow us to choose the perfect card for the perfect show today. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to put the energy, your energy, everyone's energy on here. And this is the card that I pulled. Oh, I've never pulled this before. This is cool. Okay, so this is a 6. Okay, it's an ancestor. So V1 is a 6. Okay, so there's the card there. It says ancestor. I've never pulled this card before. Okay, so let's see what it has to say. Very cool. Okay, so ancestor. All right. Attributes: history, lineage, community, family, relationships. Your ancestors within your lineage made you. Somehow they managed to survive and thrive in order to ensure you are here. Your ancestors make up a portion of who you are, but you get to choose which pieces you utilize. It's not fixed or predetermined. Your ancestors speak in terms of community, family, and right relationships. Pick any ancestors from your family tree to bring into conversation. They're all watching and rooting for you. Potential questions to ask this archetype. Do you have a message for me? What was your relationship like with your mother and father? What did you long for but never realized? What are you most proud of that not everyone knew about? What do you wish you could pass along? What do you still need forgiveness for?
Ooh,
Wow, I
big
just got
one.
chills. Okay.
You know
So
what?
take a piece there and run with it, Lisa, and let's go. Let's riff.
There's a few things I wrote down,
Okay.
and a lot, I just want to touch on the last one for
Okay.
a minute, the forgiveness piece, because I've been working with some of that over the last couple of weeks. One of the, if anybody's familiar with the Course in Miracles, um, there is a there is a lesson in the Course in Miracles on forgiveness and forgiving and of ourselves, forgiving of other people. We always think we want to forgive everyone else, right? But when you're on this inner journey, a big piece is forgiveness of yourself.
Hmm.
Right? And I think we
Yeah.
might have touched on that last week. I don't remember, but I'm just going to say what's coming through me right now
Yeah.
is we forget, especially as women, we forget to forgive ourselves and be kind
Mhm.
to ourselves, the self-care piece, right? And self-care, when we say this, when we talk about it, it's not just, going to get a massage and doing your nails, and although those are nice things, but it's the deep inner work of self-care. And I think this ties in really nicely to the ancestral realm, because a lot of the work I do with clients is going into the unconscious mind. And as an energy healer, we talk a lot about that. And oftentimes I get, this is an ancestral program
Yeah.
coming through you. This is an ancestral program. And
Yeah.
actually, recently, a client, I said to them, "Does this make sense? That you're getting, it's a family pattern, but it's on the maternal side." And I went into detail, and she said, "Oh my God, yes, like that totally makes sense." And I said, "Oftentimes, our ancestors couldn't really do their inner work. A lot of them
Yeah.
didn't do their inner work. At least in
Yeah.
my case, I can only
Oh
speak."
yeah.
For
They didn't
just
even know what the inner work was. I mean, let's face it. Yeah.
exactly. And on life on this earth, they didn't talk about inner work, and right, and it
Yeah.
wasn't talked about, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
grandmother had severe mental health issues, and nobody talked about that. Like nobody
Yeah.
provided medications or therapies for that. It was something you dealt with, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you're dealing with programs, right? We all run on programs, and when you're dealing with those old programs and patterns and whatnot, most times they are ancestral programs that our ancestors couldn't deal with on their own, therefore they're passed down,
Yeah.
right? And again, another word that jumped out at me in that card, if I can say before I pass it over to you, is the choose.
Yeah.
Choose is a big piece, right? Choice is
Yeah.
a big thing in our life. You get to choose whether you're going
Yeah.
to do that inner work and work on those programs or not. That's your choice, right?
Exactly.
You're going
Yeah.
to pass it on to the next generation down. But I'm of the belief, and I have been since I found this work 23 years ago, I'm not passing this on to my child,
Mm.
nor do I want to pass this on to my grandchildren. I want
Yeah.
to do my work, however hard it is, figure this shit out so that, future generations can be better people for it. How do you feel about that?
Oh, oh, amen to that. I got chills. Yeah, absolutely, Lisa. It's a choice, and when we know better, we do better, as Maya Angelou taught us, right? So there's those of us that don't want to do the inner work because we probably don't even know what the inner work is, and we don't even realize we have a choice. We just think this is my lot in life. This is my luck. Bad luck. If I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Like people that just talk about that life just happens to them,
Yeah, yeah,
and they don't even realize they have a choice. And so this is a great conversation because yes, my father, God bless him, he did the very best that he could. And some of you know my story. As a little girl, I wanted to be on stage singing and dancing, and I was told those women are sluts,
yeah,
because that's the mindset that he got given to him from his parents. So
yeah,
his parents, God bless my grandparents, very solid, lovely people, and they grew. They basically were raising children during depression,
yeah,
wartime. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And there was no such thing as, well, not no such thing as the inner work, because there was inner work, but not too many people knew about it,
yeah,
and nobody thought about looking into your child's gifts and trying to encourage them to do their thing. Like my father clearly loved music. He's every piano he sat down in front of and plucked out tunes by ear. He played crappy because he didn't know how to play, but he loved music. had he been given that opportunity, supported by his parents, he could have been something amazing, right? Like he could sing like Pavarotti, right? But my grandparents didn't have the why and where for all and whatever the term is. They just didn't have the means to
Yeah.
give their 7 children the ability to be, their best self, aligned, authentic, fully self-expressed, as I like to say. So you can't blame my grandparents. This is the era they grew up in.
Yeah.
And so I am not blaming or shaming anybody, my father or them or the people that came before them, my other ancestors. I'm simply aware of the fact that, like you said, the buck stops with me. I
Yeah.
get to live my life aligned, authentic, fully self expressed. I will not die with my real music still in me. And my child will not die with his real music
Yeah.
still in him.
Yeah.
So my child gets to see how I show up in the world.
Yeah.
And apparently, I inspire him. He has said that. He's
Aw.
28 years old. He's amazing. He's done incredible things. Just bought his first house. I'm so proud of him. He moves in tomorrow, my 61st birthday. My
That's
son is moving.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. They're sending me to the spa. I manifested, by the way. Little side note, I manifested a day at the spa for my 61st birthday tomorrow because they don't need me, right? I thought I was going to be helping him move on my birthday, and I was willing to do that. This is my child, right? I don't care if I'm spending my birthday this way. Except he goes, "Mom, you know what? We actually have the movers. Dad's helping. We really don't need you." And I'm like, "Great. I actually wanted to go to the spa." He goes, "Mom, I'll send you to the spa." So my husband and him and my son and his partner have sent me to the spa. I'm going to Elmwood Spa tomorrow. I am so excited. So
That is
isn't
amazing.
that great?
I
But
love it.
my child is incredible. He's got an incredibly good job, doing some really great things on the planet to help entrepreneurs. He works at Shopify. He's a manager there, helping people to have better e-commerce and make money from their thing, right? So he works with people like his mama, entrepreneurs like us, and he's not works with them. He serves them through the company that he works for. And I know he's going to do something really, really big. Like as a little boy, maybe I'm a bit biased, and I'm sure you're biased about Sid as well. But I would look at him and I would just say, you know what, Daniel, you are here for something big, and I was the mother you chose in this lifetime. I mean, he looks at me and thinks I'm a freak when I say that, right? Like, what do you mean, Mom? I chose you, right? But he did. His soul chose me.
Yeah.
And I said, you're here for something big, and I'm holding space for that. I'm here to support you as you get to do that thing that you're here to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I've done my inner work. I know that we are not our egos. We are our higher selves that are here for something bigger. So that is what I get to share with my child. So yes, I have not been perfect by any stretch, and I made so many mistakes as a new mom, and and I begged for his forgiveness for anything that I did that did not serve him. But parents that are not conscious wouldn't even think of saying sorry for anything that they've done, because like my mother, when I went through 2 years of therapy to get over my mommy issues, and like I said, I'd mentioned this before, she's my best friend today at 84. But when you know we were going through our stuff, and I went through 2 years of therapy when I was a new mom, she never apologized. I went to her and I said, "Mom, you know what? I'm having these struggles now with Daniel because I didn't, make peace around this with you." And she goes, "Well, that's not my fault." And I mean, very, very like super, super deflective and
Yeah.
defensive. And that's the best she could do. She's
Yeah.
never done the inner work,
Yeah.
right? So, but what's interesting is that with her now, because I've done so much inner work, that I have so much compassion, I'm able to hold her in such a safe place.
Mhm. Mhm.
She's starting to do her inner work. Like when I share pieces of things that I'm doing in law of attraction, and I'm sharing like the movie The Secret in Italian for her to check it out,
Nice.
she's like, "Elvira, this makes so much sense," and she's in her 80s, right? So I mean, so it's like, the parents, can be the students, like sorry, yeah. So kids can be the teachers and
Yeah.
parents can be students, right?
Yeah.
So my son is constantly teaching me as well, because there's things I don't know that, he's very, very, he's millennial on the border of Gen Z. They're very awake. They're doing a lot of things right, and I learned from him. And so anyway, the point is that I'm open. I'm open to doing my work. I'm open to learning from him and from everyone that I'm meant to learn from. And it's about being awake. It's not about being asleep and unconscious.
Mhm.
It's being awake and
Mhm.
conscious
Mhm.
and doing our inner work so that we don't have to repeat the mistakes of our past. Like my son, the sky is the limit for him. Whatever he wants to do, he can do because I believe that I helped to curate with his father, of course, who's on his own path, helped to create a safe space for him to become all he's meant to be in this lifetime. But not all of us have had this privilege, and it is a privilege to have parents that can really support you. However, that being said, when you get conscious, when you decide to go on your personal development journey, you don't have to worry about what anybody's done behind
Right.
you, before
Right.
you. You can simply live your truth, do your inner work, and heal your past and heal your future as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you resonate,
Yeah,
Lisa?
I love it so much. I resonate. I think our kids are our biggest teachers, right? And I was listening to, I can't remember who was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about, the people that are um, our biggest challenges in life are our biggest teachers,
Yeah.
right?
Amen.
And I was just thinking when you said that, when we're awake and we're conscious, like we are, thankfully, that we are awake, we're willing to, look at ourselves, do our work, do all the forgiveness stuff. We're willing to do that.
Hmm.
However, there's a flip side to this, right? And I kind of, when you said your son chose you, I firmly believe that. That's how I speak as well.
Yeah. Sid
Um,
chose you. Yeah.
yeah, and for those people watching or going to watch, if you believe it, you believe. If you don't, whatever. Take
It's
what
okay. We don't care.
you change it. It doesn't. You take what you need and leave the rest. But
Yeah.
yes, I believe she chose me, and I believe she is one of my biggest teachers. But I also think, and I was listening to this in the podcast, people that are asleep and unconscious, um, and when we say that, we mean just, maybe people that are choosing not to do their inner work in this lifetime.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that
Yeah.
you have to remember a soul is ever evolving, a soul is ageless, a soul moves from lifetime to lifetime. Again, if you believe that, doesn't really
Mhm.
matter. But people that are asleep on this planet are also put in our path for us to do our work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because
And
how difficult is it to encounter somebody, right? And again, being vulnerable, and I've said this many times, my husband is one of those people. And
mhm.
it's a challenge, right?
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
And mine was for the longest time up until a breaking point when he had no choice. Either he chose it or he didn't, and we would have probably split.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
And a lot of people are in that situation. And it's not just maybe your husband, it could be your child. Like I have a
Mhm.
very good friend right now going through a very difficult time with her son, extremely difficult.
Yeah.
And I'm sending her so much love. And it just makes me want to cry for her. He is
Mm.
her biggest teacher. And to some
Yeah.
extent, she sees that, but she's still in the like, why am I still dealing with this? Like he's 24.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so, I do believe that people in this planet, like the difficult person at the grocery store, whatever, the
Mhm.
challenging person at work, like if you can sort of, I was having this conversation with my daughter this morning. If you can just change that perspective a little bit, it's like when you look through, what are those in a science lab? I could not think of the name, and I can't think of it now. When you look in a, um,
Microscope?
thank you,
Yeah. Okay.
God.
I used to use one when I worked in the lab
Thank you.
as a lab tech. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, when you look through one and you just change the focus slightly, it changes everything.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like if you can just change the focus and move the dial slightly and
So
look
good.
the way,
Yeah.
then things around you change, right?
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to fall into the trap of or you can just be that observer and look and go, okay, I get you're trying to teach me
Yeah.
something right now. What is it
Yeah.
that I need to look at?
Yeah.
Still in me
Amen.
that is coming up for me that I need to look at right now,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's an easy feat because it's not. It's really not. Some days are easier than others, but if we are doing our inner work, then we're always self-reflecting. We're always
Yeah,
doing that,
exactly.
right?
Inner work is about being radically self-aware and radically responsible. And
Yeah,
it's about, looking at how you're showing up, and are you showing up with the wounds of your ancestors, like this card, right? Or are you showing up as the empowered you that
yeah,
you're here to
yeah,
be? With a
yeah,
purpose that's only yours. Like one of you was needed on this planet, on this lifetime, right?
yeah,
Whatever you believe created you decided that one of you was necessary.
yeah,
So if you can choose to see it from that perspective, then you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, one of me was needed. And I'm not this, horrible person. Like for me, for example, when I was being bullied at work and then attracted another bully socially, and I went to a dark place for 2 years because these people hated me and shamed me and humiliated me and made me a laughing stock, and I was at ground zero for like 2 solid years. I realized that, are they am I who they're describing
yeah,
to themselves and other people, or am I the beautiful child of my creator that brought me here to serve in a way that only I can?
yeah,
And that shift, that little tiny shift, was everything.
yeah,
And 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 then I started getting more and more teachings and tools gifted to me, and it was like, oh my god, I was a new person.
yeah,
And it was so fast. It was just mindset shifts, like just one little iota, like you said.
yeah,
And that's how we can escape the pain and the trauma of our past, of
yeah,
our ancestors.
yeah,
We don't have to repeat that. We get to be who we truly are.
yeah,
And who we truly are, I believe each one of us is a bright, shiny star. And if we don't believe it, that's our trauma that keeps us small and safe. Like Marianne Williamson said,
mm,
our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be gorgeous, brilliant, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be, right? So I
that
invite
entire thing
I know, I
is
know.
on
It's
my
so
heart.
good. It's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's like, when we truly believe that, and I know you do, Lisa, I know I do. And it's something to aspire to every day, because some days you just don't feel like doing it. But if we did believe that we were gorgeous, brilliant, talented, and fabulous, how would we show up differently in the world? If
mm,
we weren't living as our traumatized self from generational trauma, how would we be living our life?
I love that question.
Invitation is to go there, to do it anyway, to be with the right community where you're doing that inner work. And we're blessed to support people on that journey with our incredible program, Leap into Your New Life, Make the Rest of Your Life the Best of Your Life. That's one way of doing the inner work. I have a team, a beautiful team that facilitates this inner work with the Love Your Vibe transformation. And then you, of course, Lisa, do it one on one. I do it one on one. And there's tons of people in this amazing group that do it their way as well. So, there's no excuse.
Yeah,
You just need to decide that
yeah,
you're better than that generational trauma. You don't have to repeat the sins of the father, right?
love it.
I did that for the longest time. I was told I couldn't be an artist on stage. I played small. It nearly killed me, because living out of alignment gave me depression, anxiety, panic disorder, bipolar, and a marriage on the skids, and suicidal ideation at my lowest. But fortunately, I had the breakdown and the spiritual breakthrough, and now I get to be me. And I believe if I could do it, virtually everybody can. So
I love that. And I like what you said too, was are you going to sit there and choose to believe those old stories and those programs that either A, people have told you growing up, your parents have told you,
yeah.
or that you've adopted from the family programs, right?
Mm.
Whatever it is, you're not a great singer,
Yeah.
the singers on stage are sluts, or
Yeah. Yeah.
right? All those old programs. Are you going to sit there and choose to believe that? Or are you
Yeah.
going to move through that, right? I did believe it for a long time, as did
Yeah,
you.
me too. Me
You
too.
know?
Every time I sang, it was from shame. And if people didn't tell me I sounded great when I got off the stage, I thought I sucked,
Yeah,
because I didn't have any inner belief in myself, because
yeah,
I was singing from a place of shame and ego. But
yeah,
when I had the breakdown and the breakthrough, and I started singing from heart and soul, name of my first jazz band, when I started singing from heart and soul, my truth, where I really didn't care what you think I sound like.
yeah,
I'm doing that thing I'm here to do. And
yeah,
if you don't like it, don't let the door hit you in the ass,
yeah,
because I'm here to do what I'm meant to do. And
yeah,
if we can have that kind of non attachment to our bigger purpose, and one of mine is to be an entertainer, is to be an artist.
yeah,
And And I own that. I own it at the highest vibration. And because of that, it's not about my ego.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of artists that don't realize this. They're
Yeah.
still in shame and old stories,
Yeah.
like I used to live in. And I see a lot of jazz artists that are crap magnets as a result. So I want to do the best that I can to help as many artists live as miracle magnet musicians, because
Mhm.
I believe that it's possible. I was able to do it. So
I like that. I love it. That's so beautiful. Yeah, and you know what I love is that you broke through one of those ancestral programs.
yes.
You
And
broke.
my daddy is in heaven. He's been there for 11 years. And I do believe he doesn't think I'm a slut. I really do believe that he's on the other side and he's very proud of me.
I love that you said that, and this is what I was going to say earlier. So this just gave me my reminder: is that you healed that ancestral program for him.
Oh, yes.
So
Yes. I got chills.
you
Yeah.
know, he's your
He's
biggest.
so proud of me. Yeah.
Yeah, right? He couldn't do it here, but he could do it there, and then he was helping you do it here. So,
Yeah.
all minds are joined. When you heal your mind,
Yeah.
all minds heal, including your ancestors on the other side.
Yeah.
Not just
Yeah.
it's the ego that believes we're all separate. We're not
Yeah.
separate.
Yeah.
We're not separate from the other side. We are all joined, right? And so you healing that was so healing for your daddy too. So
And
so
my auntie is another one of my ancestors. She was on world-class opera stages, but when she got married, she was told to hang up her opera gown and put on an apron, and
mm,
was told to never step foot on another stage because, again, good women were not on stages.
totally,
That was the family mindset. And again, not blaming my grandparents. That's the best they could do.
no,
But you know what? When my aunt saw me on Facebook, and God rest her soul, Dia Sundina, when my aunt saw me on Facebook singing, because one of my cousins showed her my video, she goes, "Good for Elvira. She was able to do what I wasn't able to do."
so beautiful. Yeah, so beautiful. So you've just healed so many people by doing that, right? Like it's just so amazing. You came through that for a purpose, and so amazing. Yeah, and I believe each and every one of us has that ability. And I'm going to go back to what you said earlier because it is all about this. If you can become responsible and radically aware, right? I would even put radical in front of responsibility. Like if you can have complete and total responsibility for everything, not blaming everybody else in your life, including family programs, because it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing the best with what they have, right?
Yeah.
If you operate from that, and then what can you do to heal moving forward? It is your job on this planet to do that, to raise vibrations, to raise the consciousness on this planet. It's your choice. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
I'm giving
so
thanks
good.
today for such a beautiful conversation because literally that just flowed right through us.
Mm. And I
Right?
feel healed at a new level because I was able to share that with you. So thank you. Thank you for holding space while I healed further.
So beautiful. So, so beautiful. Well, you guys just witnessed that, right? You guys just witnessed that. And what a beautiful, this is why we say these conversations
Yeah.
are truly vulnerable and authentic. They
Yeah.
really are. There's no, we want this for all of you. We want you to be able to do the same thing, right?
Be
Just
honest, be
responsible.
aware, be
Honest.
radically responsible, and decide you're better than whatever you're going through. Decide, have your IBTT moment, as we call it in our system. IBTT, I'm better than this.
Yeah.
And simply decide, I'm better than this, and I'm going to find what I need to help me feel better. And there's so many modalities out there, and every modality matters. You need to figure out what's the best one for you.
Yeah.
That is your miracle mix, as I call it. What keeps you vibrating at a high level where you can attract miracles versus being down here stuck and unhappy and depressed and all the things that aren't very good to feel, where you're a crap magnet, right? You can shift to this beautiful space, and we can help you. There's tons of people in this group that can help you. So, reach out, find out what's your miracle mix, and be part of the miracle magnet movement, because all modalities matter, and you need to find what works for you.
I love it. So beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this conversation. Thank you for being so vulnerable today. Beautiful. We love you all. Again, whip over to our YouTube channel and like, share, and subscribe, because you never know who could use this exact conversation to help them. And yeah, drop in the comment section below. If you feel vulnerable, what is your ancestral program that you're healing on in this lifetime?
Yeah,
What is it that you're
great
working on
question.
in
Great
this
question.
lifetime? Maybe it is something to do with relationships. Maybe it's to do with finances. Maybe it's to do whatever it is. Some old program that you're still working on healing, or maybe you've overcome and you've healed it and you feel so proud of yourself. Please, put that in the comment section. I'd love to see that. So
Love
thank
it.
you,
Love
and
it, Lisa.
next week. Oh, you're not here next week, right? It's next week.
No, I'm not here next week. Unfortunately, I'm at an event in Oakville, selling on the spot marketplace. I'm one of the sponsors there, so hit me up if you want to go. Yeah, 2 weeks. Yes.
Perfect. All right. Until 2 weeks from now, we'll see you then. Bye for now.
Mwah.